Right, simplifying ratios, section 12.1. That's 146, 147 on the foundation course. Simplifying ratios, here we go. We go 4 to 2, halve it down. That'll be 2 to 1. Next one, we'll do 4 to 6, halve it down, 2 to 3. Don't always halve, just depends what the common factors are. So for example, 4 to 10, we can call that 2 to 5. Won't go any further than that. And how about this one here? You've got 50p in the ratio £3.50. So ratio of 50p to £3.50. Change it all into pennies, otherwise you can't compare them. So it's going to be 50 to 350. Count all the zeros. That's like saying 1 to 7. That's dividing both sides by 5 really, just to get the simplified ratio. Last one, I've got £5 compared with 45p. Again, change it into pennies to have a direct comparison. Divide both sides by 5, I suppose, so trim it down by dividing by 5. So we've got 100 here to 9, as far as that's going to go. Question 3, all these ratios are equivalent to 2/3, and I've got to find the missing bits. I've got 4 to something. Well, if you double the 2 and get 4, you double the 3 and get 6. Let's try another one. I've got 2 to 3, that's the basic one we're working with, and it says blank to 6. Well, here multiplying by 2, do the same to the 2. 2 2s are 4, so the ratio is 4 to 6. Notice we're not simplifying, we're just doing the question required and finding the equivalent ratio. And next one, let's do it up here. I've got space up here. 2 to 3 again. 100 to blank. Well, here I'm obviously multiplying by 50, so 3 lots of 50 is going to be 150, and that's that one. Done, that'll do. Right, film club. Question 4, do it in yellow down here. I've got 24 females and 18 males. They're part of a film club, and find the female to male ratio. So better write down F to M in case you get it backwards. So we've got 24 to 18. Well, 6's go in, so divide by 6. We're going to get 4 to 3. So that's the ratio there. And the next part says 6 more men join the club, so we're up to 24 chaps. 4. And 10 more women join the club, so we're up to 34 more women. And then it says, is the female to male ratio bigger, smaller, or the same? Well, I've studied this one before the video because it looks a little bit complicated. What I did was to say, how would I get from, and that's of course females to males, how would I get from 18 to 24, say, if I wanted to compare the ratios? Well, 18 plus a third extra of 18, which is 6, takes us to 24. So in other words, 18 plus a third of 18 takes us to 24. And what about 24 plus a third of 24? And just work it out again. So 18 plus 1 and a third becomes 24. So they're sorted. And 24 plus 1 and a third of 24. Well, a third of 24 is 8. Altogether, 8 plus 24 makes 32. And that's those compared. Now what's happened? In order for the ratio to stay the same, I needed 32 females, but I actually have 34 females. So we can say there's a greater number of females to males, therefore it's a bigger ratio of female to males. Is that alright? Now, had it not been such kind numbers, I wouldn't be able to do it without a calculator, honestly. So I've had to find a way of doing it and teaching it. Just look for these little easy conversion methods. So a third of 18 is 6, add it on, get to 24. A third of 24 is 8, add it on and get to 32. But there's more females, so therefore it's a bigger ratio. And what does it say next? it then says, I think I'll do question 8 really. It looks quite complicated, the numbers don't look kind at all. I'm going to go for it, see what happens. I've got here, school has 120 pupils, sorry 1,200 even, a big school, and 80 teachers, so that's pupils, teachers, 1,200 to 80 teachers. And in a different school, school B, I've got pupils to teachers is going to be 840 to 56 teachers. Alright, and the punchline is, do both schools have the same pupil to teacher ratio? Well, this is what I'm going to do. If I divide the 80 by 80, I also divide this side by 80 as well, don't I? What I'm doing is trying to simplify the ratio. So now I've got one teacher for every, how many 8's going to 120? Well, 8's going to 12 1.5 times, 15. So I reckon that's going to be 15 times, yes. 8 times 10 is 80, 8 times 5 is 30, that gives us, 8 times 5 is 40, that gives us 120. So every one teacher looks after 15 pupils on average. That's the pupil-teacher ratio. So I suppose if I divide this by 56 and this by 56, which is no fun whatsoever, I'm going to get it, again obviously 50 over 56 is 1. Now if I can work this bit out, I can compare the answer here with the answer here, and they can therefore decide whether it's school A or school B has the higher pupil-to-teacher ratio. Although it wants it 56 using long division, then that should help out to see if I can get that mystery question mark there, the quantity of pupils compared to teachers. So here I go, 840, well 56 into 84 goes once, 1 lot of 56 is of course 56, so let's just take it away, see what's left. That's going to be 7, 1, right, that's going to be, from there it's going to be 8 I believe, yes, 7, 2, right, so then drop down to 0. How many 56s into 280? Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, let's just try 5 of them for a start. So 5 of these is going to be, let's just work it out shall we quickly, 5 times 56 is going to be, well 5 times 6 is going to be 30, and 5 times 5, well 5 times 50 is going to be 250, 280. So therefore 5 times another 5 makes 280, so write down the 280, take it away, nothing left. Yeah, absolutely the same pupil to teacher ratio. Question asks, do both schools have the same pupil to teacher ratio? The answer is yeah, and I proved it because of all this shenanigans over here. Right, I like question 10, so I'm going to do it down here in yellow. Here are the ingredients for pastry for a flan for 6 people. Recipe for 6. I've got 80 grams butter, and I've got 160 grams flour, and then you obviously add water. Yeah, plus H2O, bit of science there. So that's for 6 people. Alright, and it says, Sophie says, so if we make the flan for 8 people, we will need 100 of butter and 180 flour. Is she correct? I don't know. Let's work it out, shall we? So what we do, you tend to divide to get the recipe for 1, then multiply up to get the recipe for 8 people. So let's do the butter first. We take 80 grams, divide it by 6, and that will give us something or other. I'm not sure, let's just do it. 6 is into 80 goes once, and then 4 left over. Sorry, not 4, not 4, not 4. Goes once. It's too small, I can't see it. Goes once, and 2 left over. So 6 is into 20 go 3 times, decimal point, and then we're going to go, what's left over? 2 left over. So it's 3.3 recurring it's going to be. Right, that's the amount of butter required for 1 person. Now for 8 people, I'm going to take my 13.3 recurring and multiply that by 8. In other words, 13 1/3, multiply that by 8. Let's have a look. 8 13s is going to be 80 plus 24, 104. And then 1/3 times 8 is going to be plus an extra 2 2/3, Well, that's going to give us 106 and 2/3 of a gram. This is not even using a calculator. This is really unpleasant. So if we make the flan for 8 people, we need 100 butter and 180 for flour. Let's just check out her flour. Hope it's not as bad as that one. So I'm going to take 160 for the flour now. 160. I need to divide by 6, then multiply by 8. Let's make it a little bit easy by cancelling down. That's going to be 4 and 3. I can do 3's into 160, see what happens there. 3's into 16 go 5 times, 1 left over. 3's into 10 go 3 times and 1 left over. So it'll be 53.3 recurring. Then multiply that by 4. Essentially I've got 4 times 53 and a third. Well, 4 53s is going to be 200 and yes, it's going to be 212. So 212, and 4 lots of a third is going to be an extra 1 and a third. So what have I got? 113 and a third grams of flour. Well, Sophie got it wrong and I've just proved it. It's a shame we have to do it in so much detail without a calculator, but anyway, that's the way it goes. Sophie is wrong. You require 106 and 2/3 of a gram for 8 people. You require 113 and a third of a gram of flour for 8 people, and that's all there is to it. And so I'm going to stop now.